Hello, I'm Jordan, this is Artisan Electrics, and I'm talking to you today about the Tesla wall connector. Is it any good? If you've watched my videos for a while, you'll know that I make a lot of videos about electric vehicle charging, and I have a Tesla here. So when I got my Tesla, which is my work car because we are EV charging specialists, I got myself a Zappi charger, My Energy Zappi. That's my go-to charger that I fit on a day-to-day basis. And I had that in and that was working perfectly for a while. But I get so many customers asking me to install these. This is a Tesla wall connector, which is the official Tesla charger from Tesla themselves. And so many customers who are getting a Tesla, they say to me, I really want you to install a Tesla wall connector. And I've had my doubts about these for a while, so I don't tend to recommend them to my customers, and there's a few reasons for that which I want to share with you in this video. But I wanted to really go through the motions and have one of these for myself to really experience whether the Tesla wall connector is any better than another charger for you if you're a Tesla owner, or whether it has major disadvantages. So I'm going to show you briefly the function and features of this charger, and I'm going to talk to you about why it's not the kind of charger that I will usually be installing, and in my case I'm not going to be using this for much longer because I'm going to be putting my Zappi back in. So essentially, Tesla wall connector, it is what it is. It's basically a very simple, relatively cheap and dumb charger. When I mean dumb, I mean that it's got no app connectivity at all. This is the version 2. They have released a version 3 in the USA, which is probably going to head over to the UK at some point in the next year or so, I would imagine, which is supposed to be a little bit smarter. But for the moment, if you're a Tesla owner in the UK, this is all you can get. And when I set it up and everything, I was assuming that you would be able to pair it to your Tesla app and you would be able to monitor things or do things with it. You can't. It's dumb. It literally just connects to the electricity, and all you do is just plug your car in and charge it up. Whereas what I'm used to with the My Energy Zappi is being able to see how much electricity my house is using, how much electricity my car's using, and to be able to do smart charging through the My Energy app. Now obviously I can do the smart charging with the Tesla app in terms of I can set it to charge at certain times or whatever, so I don't really need that feature from the My Energy app as well, but it is nice to have because you've got the smart functionality where you can monitor how much energy you're using, not just for the charger but for your whole house, and you just can't do that with this. So as far as I can see, the only advantage to having the Tesla charger is this. So I'll show you now. It's got a button on here, right? Little button. It's not even really a button, it's just a mark on here, and that mark, if you press it, it opens the charge port on the car, basically, if you move it close. So I'll show you how that works. That is the only advantage that I can find with this Tesla wall connector. In terms of looks, the actual thing, the casing looks quite cool. It looks quite spaceship-like, but I hate the way that the cable slings around the thing. It's just so messy, and this cable is so heavy. It's really, really heavy, and you have to sort of wrestle with it. It's so thick and stiff. So I'll show you, I'm just going to unsling this now, and you'll see how it just sort of flops on the floor, and then you basically just got to drag it. So I'll just sort of drag it over here, and then this is the one advantage that I can find with this charger is you press the button and it opens the flap, and then you literally just plug it in and that will start charging. Now that is nice because otherwise if you have a different charger any other charger basically, you have to open the flap manually in your Tesla app. So it's like an extra maneuver that you need to do. But to be fair, you don't really need to do that because if your car is unlocked, all you need to do is push the flap and it opens up by itself anyway. So it's not really a game changer. And as I say, this cable is just so long, so thick. Because it's a 3-phase as standard, it's a lot thicker than most other chargers, and it's just like wrestling with a snake, really. It's sort of like a really thick, tough, almost like an armoured cable, And that's it. You just plug it in, and then my Tesla's not set to charge until the morning, so it's not going to charge right now. But if I go into the app and just press charge now, it will start charging. You'll see the line moving on this to say that it's charging up. And that's it really. But the other reason I don't like these chargers is the safety side of things, right? So this charger has no built-in RCD protection at all. What that means is, under the regulations, if your installer is following the correct regulations, they need to install a double pole Type B RCD to protect the car. A Type B RCD is really expensive and they're hard to get hold of in the UK. There's not that many manufacturers who make these things. It means that you can't just install a circuit within your existing consumer unit for it, but an additional consumer unit will need to be installed to be able to put the Type B RCD and the circuit protection for this particular charger. But not only that, for this charger you also either need to install an earth electrode, so that it's got its own earth electrode for the charger and the car, which involves driving a copper stake into the ground, putting a pit in the ground and connecting it to the charger, or, and this is only if it's on what we call a PME system or TNS or TNCS system. Try not to blind you with jargon here, but this is sort of electrical terminology, but it basically is the type of supply that you have from the supply company into your house. And most houses in the UK have either TNCS or TNS, which means that these regulations will apply. You either need to install an earth electrode or you need to install what's called a PEN fault detection device. PEN is protective earth neutral. It's basically the neutral and earth conductors for your house are connected together back at the origin. And what can happen is the supply cable can fail and that PEN conductor can drop out, resulting in the casing of your vehicle becoming live. And then if you touch your vehicle like this and your feet are on the ground like mine are, while this PEN fault is occurring, you will get electrocuted. It's as simple as that. And it could kill you. So, to prevent that, you either need to have an earth electrode to connect the earthing of the car, which means that the earth potential of the car and the earth potential of the ground are the same, therefore you wouldn't get a shock, or you need to install this PEN fault detection device like I mentioned, which is another expensive piece of kit that's a little bit complicated to install. It's basically like another separate consumer unit. I've done a video of me installing this, by the way, so I'll leave a link up here somewhere where you can see me installing this particular PEN fault detection device. But essentially, that's another expensive device that you need to install in order to fit this charger safely. Now compare that to a lot of the other chargers on the market which have their own inbuilt Type B RCD equivalent, and they have their own inbuilt PEN fault detection device, like the Zappi. So the Zappi I had in before, it has its own Type A RCD with 6 milliamp DC protection, which is essentially the same as a Type B RCD. And it has its own PEN fault detection device built into it, which means that you don't need to install an earth rod, you don't need to install a separate PEN fault detection device, you don't need to install a separate Type B RCD. In other words, you can basically install Zappi from a normal circuit breaker, non-RCD protected. If the cable is clipped direct or it's armoured cable, you don't even need RCD protection for that particular circuit because it's all built into the charger. That's the thing, guys. A lot of customers just don't realise this. The Tesla wall connector is nothing special. In fact, it's a bit rubbish. And apart from the way that it looks a little bit cool and you've got a button that opens the charging flap of the car, those are the only advantages that I can see with having the Tesla wall connector, and there are so many disadvantages. Although it may be cheaper than a Zappi, this costs £450 roughly, whereas a Zappi costs maybe £750. The time you go to install a PEN fault detection device, a Type B RCD, and all the extra labour that's involved in that, it's usually more expensive to install one of these than it is to install a proper nice smart charger like a Zappi or another brand of smart charger. So my recommendation, if you've got a Tesla or getting a Tesla and you want to get a charger, just don't bother with the Tesla wall connector for the moment. It's not worth it. There are no real advantages to having a Tesla wall connector And there are so many advantages to having another type of charger like the MyEnergy Zappy charger. So I just wanted to share this video out because not a lot of people realise this, and I think it's important. So I hope this video has been of benefit to you. If it has, smash the thumbs up button, share it out with some other Tesla owners or installers or whoever might benefit from this video. Subscribe to the channel for free if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching and have a great day.